Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Cult Film Review. I am your host, Cody Everett. This week we are talking about The Adventures in Babysitting, starring Elizabeth Shue. It had a $7 million budget. It made a crap more than that.
A crap more.
A crap
Old man
more.
crap more.
It's actually a scientific terminology. It is a crap more, which is,
That's,
I mean, 28 million
That's a
or
unit
more.
of measurement.
Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
crap more.
Yeah. If you
So,
make a shit ton more, it's
hold
like
on
100
now.
million.
Hold
Oh,
on now.
you're so right.
Is it The Adventures in Babysitting or just Adventures in Babysitting?
I think it's The Adventures
You know, it's
in Babysitting.
adventures in babysitting.
It's just Adventures
It's
in
just
Babysitting?
adventures.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, let's start the show.
Let's do it.
Your Hollywood system stole our sex and co-opted our violence, so there's nothing left for our kinds of movies.
I did not hit her. It's not true.
Klopex? Klopex. Klopex.
Up yours, baby.
Me and Bubba, my little brother, listen to you every night.
Where in the hell are we?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All right, guys, so we're talking about Adventures in Babysitting this week. It's a 1987 cult classic. This was my first time seeing this movie. I don't know if it was anybody else's in the room.
No.
No.
Speaking of who else is in the room, though, let's get into that. Right now, we have the proprietor of a blog that nobody reads.
Yep. That's me. I already know it's me. It's me.
Surprise! It's
Called-
me. I've had
Hey.
the blog the whole
yeah,
time.
you didn't know because nobody reads it.
Hey.
Called Friendly Neighborhood Filmmaking. I'm the only person who's going to plug that right tonight. The other person who will plug it will get it wrong. He is Michael Salustio.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, Cody.
He is not the president, but he is the vice president of acquisitions.
Acquisitions.
Accusations.
Acquisitions.
I make a lot of accusations.
No, he does.
but
Yeah.
you don't
That's
make
my
you,
job.
You don't make
Yeah.
them all though, because you're just the
Yeah.
vice president.
He's just
I'm
the
actually a
vice president
lawyer.
of,
No.
of Midnight Releasing and Brain Damage Films. He is Chris Wilmer.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for listening.
Not only is he the sound engineer of the #1 cult film podcast in this room, but he is the owner-operator of Bluefield Audio. You can find him at bluefieldaudio@gmail.com. He is Kyle Smith.
don't send any messages there. I don't remember the password.
Lots of dick pics.
What? Just
Actually,
send-
send away because, like I said, I don't know the password and I'm not going to find it.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I
Who
mean,
has to eventually end up and go and clean all that shit out? Like
I'm hoping it's some
Well,
dude
some-
that works for Gmail.
like somebody just going through
Geek
emails
Squad
that
and
are
some dude who works
inactive.
for
some
Geek
Geek
Squad.
Geek Squad.
All right, guys. So we're
Anyhow, hi, I'm Kyle. You never finished my
Oh.
intro.
I thought I did.
Nah.
We'll listen back to it. We'll find out.
Yeah, long after we can re-record it.
All right, guys. So we're talking about Adventures in Babysitting, 1987 film. This is Mike's pick. Mike.
Mick.
Jagger.
Mick's in
Mick-
the studio
The
tonight.
fuck?
Mick Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Jesus. This is how this show's starting out. It's already starting out as a
Fucking-
classic.
I love it already.
It's starting out as
Because it's so adventurous, so we're feeling adventurous.
Yeah, you're being very adventurous. You're tugging on a bottle of MD 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's going on
Christ.
there?
Mad Dogs being
Don't
passed
ever say
around.
I'm not hard. This is 13% alcohol.
Yeah.
We explained the alcohol content earlier in the day where
Yeah.
it could be more than that because of how
The
Uh,
bottle shaped.
no because how companies label things. It's whatever.
It's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
But anyways, Mike, you picked this film, and I gotta ask you why. This is my first time seeing it, but I gotta ask you why you picked this film because this is a very,
yeah.
I would say female-friendly film.
It is, but also
Well, I don't know.
male friendly.
No,
like,
I-
I
no,
wouldn't
it's-
say
it's-
that.
I mean-
I'd say it's all gender neutral.
You don't
yeah,
think
no,
it's
that's what I'm saying.
specifically
Like, I'm
marketed
saying
towards
it
females?
markets- no, why would we say that?
I would say
Babysitting?
that.
How many fucking people did you babysit, guys?
And how many times were you babysitted for?
I was.
I
now
was
that's
as well.
true. I can relate to the
So
the
I can
kids on
relate
that
to
on that aspect.
Someone
Yeah,
like
see?
Greg,
See,
Chad,
it's
Chris?
adventures in babysitting on
Brad.
both parties'
Greg, Chad, and
adventures.
Chris.
I knew it was a really
There's
white
one
dude's
name corrected there.
Yeah. No. I remember this film from my youth. I was 7 when it came
I
out.
just got deep.
No, like it wasn't like a big film in my life, but someone reminded me of it, and they said, "Hey, you should probably think about doing that." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, that sounds like a great film to do."
Yeah.
It is. It's a very popular film. I feel like it's still holds a place in somebody's hearts. I've heard, pray tell, that like Disney Channel tried to do some kind of weird
I
series
think
or something.
they are
have a
in
remake.
development right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Hmm.
They're doing stuff about it. This is one of those films that now that everything's turning 30 years old,
Yep.
Like everybody's trying to do that retro.
I was actually
Yeah.
like thinking when I was watching this, like, why hasn't there been a babysitter movie
Yeah.
out recently?
Have you seen? Had you seen this before?
Yeah, I had seen it before for sure. My mom is the one who showed this movie to me because she liked it.
Okay,
So
Kyle, you've seen this before?
Yeah.
Also?
I used to watch it. I don't remember where the first time I saw it, but I just remember me and my brother Ryan like loved this movie, and we've
and
rented it
let's-
several times.
I want to
at
say
the video
something
store.
else. This is not a wasn't like a one and done thing for the director. Chris Columbus became
he was super famous,
Huge.
man.
He
He
did-
wrote the
he
Goonies,
wrote
or the
Gremlins.
screenplay at
He
least.
did that.
Yeah.
He wrote
Gremlins.
Gremlins. He directed Home Alone.
I mean,
He
look at all
directed
these
Mrs.
films.
Doubtfire. Like
Yeah.
and Home Alone. If you can't
Harry
see,
Potter.
this is like a precursor to Home Alone to some extent.
1000% agree.
Absolutely. This is like this idea that I guess Chris Columbus was flirting with towards the beginning of his career was this idea of like kids being thrusted into real life scenarios
Yeah.
and still trying to maintain that kind of like innocence to it.
Mhm.
I feel like this film does it a little less than Home Alone did.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember either one of those criminals coming out with guns and trying to shoot people because they were fucking their wives. But
Yeah.
I mean, this film is
He
a
might have
little-
been,
yeah.
I wouldn't say
This was-
selling out a little bit, but playing to the market he knew he was developing.
Well, this
What do you
is-
mean? With
Wait,
what?
when he did Home Alone, because this
Oh.
is before Home Alone.
No,
This is
I
before
think-
Home Alone. This
I
is his
think
first feature
that-
film.
No, I think
Yeah.
the difference between this and Home Alone is a different generation. This is the end of the '80s. This is what we've talked about this so many times. There's
How
these,
dark things
these
were.
these kids movies where kids are dealing with real life situations where they're thrust
Danger,
into
yeah.
real danger, adult situations. Whereas like you get into the '90s and it becomes a little more slapsticky, a little more comical, a little more family friendly.
Right.
You know, this,
I agree
this
100%.
is one of
That's
those
true.
last
You're right.
family
You're
films.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, Home Alone, but Home Alone was 90. I mean, 90.
And then
Yeah,
this
but
film,
but that's well
I
into
wouldn't-
the
he wasn't
change,
walking into
though.
this film like a complete noob. He had already written Goonies, and I think he had already written Gremlins at the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
And from what I read, Spielberg wanted to be attached to this,
Yes.
and he didn't, only because Chris Columbus already automatically got the job.
Yeah.
Like he had already been cast as a director, so he was like, "I don't really need you anymore." So
Yeah.
Which that takes some balls to say, the old
Yeah.
Spielberg.
No, not really. I think
well,
Spielberg
if you have a
respects.
deal,
I
if you
think
have a deal, it's
Spielberg-
already
that
set.
idiot.
No, listen. Spielberg respects Chris Columbus probably as much as he respects.
It's not like
Spielberg.
he didn't help him throughout his
Right.
Yeah, continue to do stuff with him. Like
they're-
Chris Columbus has
They
been
work
around for
well
years.
together.
He did all like the first few Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Like those were huge.
And,
I actually
and
just went
Pixels,
back
what
and
the hell
watched the-
happened with that?
Yeah. What the
yeah,
hell
that was a
happened
kind
with
of
that?
that was kind of a weird thing.
Train wreck. Freaking train wreck.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to get into the new age, right? But be kind of retro, right? Wasn't that sort of what the movie is?
I don't know what he was trying to do with that one.
No, he missed out on story on that one.
yeah.
This one,
Yeah.
this is so. If you don't know what this movie's about, which is a perfect segue, this movie is basically about the adventures in babysitting. If you were really to break it down, it's not about young love, Kyle.
No,
Why are you
yes
looking
it
at
is.
me?
It's
So
almost
this-
more
yeah,
about young
there's-
love
It's
than
more
the other
about that
films
than any
that you
other
said.
film
It
you said
is.
that
It
for.
is.
No, it's about babysitting.
No.
Okay,
and the
okay.
adventures that. What part is
It's
about young
it's about
love?
the adventures
It's about
of
the
getting your tire
breakup of
changed.
her and this boy that she
So it's
man
about
that
the
she
break-
loves.
it's about the
and
break-
it's
And
the
also
kid who
about
was in love with her.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
This is all about puberty and young love.
It's all about puberty, people.
Yeah, puberty people.
Well, it's about puberty for Brad, but it's not so much about puberty for Elizabeth Shue.
She's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on in her mind too, because like
Yeah,
honestly, like she's obsessed with a guy who is obviously horrible. Like he is not a good dude, but she's also kind of like trying to fight off this like young, like horny kind of teenager.
Yeah,
like
definitely
preteen.
horny.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. There's like a couple weird moments in this movie.
Yeah, there is a lot.
I will say, just kind of jumping into one of the problems I had a little bit.
Wait
with
a
the
minute,
film.
wait a minute, wait a minute. Tell,
back to the plot.
Tell the plot
Yeah.
of the film.
Yeah.
We did. It's just the Adventures of Babysitting.
No,
no,
that's
There's
nothing.
more to that. There's more to this film than that.
Kyle.
Read the back of the
I'll
box.
tell
or
you right
something,
now.
Cody.
It's about Chris, who's a babysitter,
Thank
who's
you.
growing too old to be a babysitter, but she gets suckered into basically doing this one last time.
job. The last
and
job.
she goes and basically her friend calls her in a panic and says to come get her. So she has to take these
She
kids
ran-
with her into the city, and all hell breaks loose, and they have to basically run from a bunch of what are they like chop shop guys, like
like mobsters. There's
all kinds of people chasing after
Just
him all
mobsters.
throughout the city. All the while, the parents are at a party, and they have to make it home before the parents actually get
Jesus Christ, Chris, do you promote films for a living?
there. That's the story, right?
that's the story.
No,
that's
it's
the
one of
story.
You're
You-
just so
You
good
nailed
at
it.
this. You're just so good at this. You should have a job in this.
Oh my god.
You should be like the
Whoa.
VP.
Is there
or
any way
something.
that you can like sell films for a living?
I think I might
Or
try
buy
that
them?
sometime in my life.
I don't think he does. I think he buys
Yeah.
films.
You should buy
Whatever.
them.
Whatever.
Yeah, I sell the company.
There
That's
you
what I
go.
do.
That's what you do. That's what you do. You're doing a good job.
So basically, like I said, I've never seen this movie before, and I was hooked from the get-go with the opening scene, just
Yeah.
instantly.
I feel like the Chris Columbus films have a feeling to them, though. There's
Yeah.
a certain spirit to them that you.
There's
There's
an-
something
They're
that draws
fun right
you
away.
in.
He's
Yeah.
really good with music too, like picking specific
he
is.
music for his
And
films.
and all of his films have a certain innocence to them
Yep.
that I feel like is relatable versus like a Disney Channel thing where it's just kind of like, okay, here's these fucking kids. You know what I mean? Like these kids, like you like all of them. I liked all the kids in
Not
this film.
no, not true.
I
for me.
Who
hated
did you
Brad at first, and
No.
then he grew on me as
love-
the story
I-
That's the
progressed.
friend.
No, that's
No,
the
that's
main.
the- that was
I
the
hate.
main guy.
I hate the friend.
Oh, I love.
I would have threw him
Daryl,
out
I
of the
love
fucking
Daryl.
car.
Hold on,
30
wait.
minutes into it.
I do want to say that character is so stereotypical of everything in this film, like of these type of films,
Uh-huh.
like the horned up, kind of like, yo, I'm kind of a weirdo, but hey, everybody, like
Mhm.
everyone loves me. He's like, what's that guy who Doogie Howser, who was the guy that used to come through the window?
Oh God, what was his friend's name? I cannot remember.
Oh God, I can't remember. Anyways,
yeah.
but there's always that guy in the film, that weird guy, the one that's just a little
But
socially awkward.
I was always
Yeah.
waiting for them to explain it. Like my parents got divorced, so he hasn't been the same, or
No,
or
he's just like that.
He's just
the
a
quirky
fucking-
friend.
He's just the
He's
weird
not
friend.
quirky, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's
He
a
is.
dick.
No, he's got a horned up dad that
He's a dick,
that
bro.
reads Playboys. He steals those Playboys.
Horned up.
Hey,
Jesus.
wait a second.
Listen
Hold
to,
on.
Listen to
Playboy's
Mike.
classy, Mike.
I don't know how you guys got introduced to pornography.
Why don't you?
Found
I
it
can
in the
tell
bag.
you-
We can save
Found
that
it
story.
in a bag on the side of the road.
Lucky.
Did you really?
Yes, that's
I
a
had
true
to
story.
work for my
Yeah.
shit.
When
True
I-
story.
When I was introduced to pornography, some kid was just like, "Yo, dude, you want to see my dad's stash?" And I was like, "What are you talking
His
about?"
mustache, bro.
No, yeah, that was it.
There
and
it
then
is
was,
in the
and
sink.
then it was
He
just like
shaved it
really
off.
weird, like Polaroids of his mustache. No, like it was some kid that was just like, "Yo, here's my dad's porn stash. You want to see it?" And I was like, okay. And I saw it, and then I was changed forever.
Well, I don't think that
Great-
part of the
great.
story. I don't think that part of the story is disbelievable. I just thought this kid was such a jackass that
He was
no
a
one would want to
complete-
hang out with him.
He was a complete
jerk.
asshole.
He was a jerk. Listen, he basically threw Brad under the bus every second he could get.
Okay.
Every second he could get, he threw Brad under the bus.
Know what I think though? I think Daryl learned something by the end of this movie.
I did too. I do too.
I think this segues into something beautiful. Tell us what you learned when you did your brief stint in the Coast Guard about trying to hook your friend up.
You can't be a dick.
You can't be a dick.
Can't
you
be a
can't
dick.
be pushing him down. And
You gotta
that's what
build him
this
up.
kid did all the time.
That's what he did all the time. He's
the
a terrible
whole time.
friend.
He was just like, "Ooh, you fucking what the fuck?"
Yeah, he
like he
steamrolled
was
the dude.
such an
He
asshole.
cock blocked him every time.
Every
He
moment.
never had a
There was
Brad never
no
had a
chance.
chance.
There
There
was
was
no
no
There's no
chance.
chance because he stopped it.
No,
No
there
way.
was never a
He
chance
was
to
like-
begin with. There
He's
was never a
13.
chance.
She's like 17. Fuck no.
There was
dude.
never a chance. I liked his friend. I thought his friend
I did too. I
was.
thought it was hilarious.
His friend was a little annoying in the first like 5 scenes he's in, or first 5 minutes of the movie. But then I was like, I like this fucking
Yeah.
kid.
He had a lot
He's a
of
bit
courage.
of a bit, but I like this kid.
Yeah, he's real angry. He
I
has
thought
a
Brad.
bunch of
I
teen
thought
angst.
Brad was a little too like
Pussy.
Yeah, he was too much of a
No,
pussy.
I think Brad's way more relatable.
No.
No, he's a fucking
And-
annoying.
No, Brad's
pussy.
more
He's annoying.
relatable and more
I
realistic
can
as a
I can
character.
tell you from personal experience that I related with Brad. I had a babysitter that I was totally crushing
Well,
on.
me too, but that doesn't
Everyone
make this
did.
character likable.
everyone did.
Now,
Yeah.
I didn't have the balls to do what Brad did, which is like, "Hey, your eyes are so beautiful tonight." Like I had no, like it was just like, "Oh hi," and I just like ran into a corner somewhere.
Exactly.
That's what I would do. Yeah, run
Yeah,
run
Brad
into a
was-
corner.
He just
and
stood in the corner the rest of the
Mike,
day.
Mike, do you want to come out of the corner? You're not in trouble, honey.
and furiously masturbate.
Brad was. I think Brad.
No, I'm good.
I think Brad was the brave one. He was a little creepy at the end, but still brave at the end.
He was. He's not a complete. He's not completely inept. Like there are times where he like takes charge of shit. Like
No,
when
yeah,
the when
he
the when the
absolutely
when
does.
the,
He-
when the
he has
tire
moments
pops,
when
he's
he-
like, "Hey, just pull off to the side."
Right.
And then there's like, "Okay,
It's
we gotta
true.
watch out for
During
this
the knife
person."
fight on the
Yeah.
train,
Yeah.
It's true.
He
No,
does-
he,
he
ha-
takes
he has his
charge.
moments,
Well,
but
yeah.
other than that, I found him more annoying than his friend. I thought his friend was
His
more of
Brad's
an interesting and an entertaining
Yeah.
character.
Brad. See, here's the thing, right? Brad's thing is Brad is trying to be an adult in those situations to show Chris that he is an adult and that she should be attracted to him because of these reasons, right?
Obviously, yes.
That's the character. That's what I thought the character choice was with that. Where I feel like, what's the friend's name?
Daryl.
Daryl's whole thing is like, I'm going to blackmail and I'm going to ruin everything you guys do because I think it's personally funny. Fuck you.
Yeah, so
That's a dick. That's what a dick does.
Not to mention,
kid's like 12 years old.
Yeah,
man.
that's the thing too. Is like by the end of it, you realize he's calmed down. He says, "Thank you for giving me the greatest night of my life." He's learned a lot. Like,
Yeah.
What did he learn?
hold on.
He's been through so much that
learned
night.
life. They all learned
Hold
life.
on. There's a very
They
telling.
learned about black people.
They learned about blues.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
There's a very telling scene where they're walking down the street and he's like, "Is that a party?" And then he just ditches everyone.
Thank
He
you.
goes right to that frat party, like, and he just walks right off.
Because he was the
Like
one.
Goofy.
If
If
this,
he hadn't done
no,
that, the
if-
girl still would have
if
needed
this
to go
whole
to the bathroom.
story was only told with Brad, you'd be like, God, this guy's fucking boring.
And-
but you've got Daryl in there to fucking throw it up and make it like
And
exciting.
if Daryl didn't go to the party, they never would have got the $50 to get the tire or ride to the garage
that's
to
that's
pick up
called-
the car.
That's retroactive
Boom.
thinking, Kyle.
I agree.
That's retroactive
Boom.
thinking.
I agree, dude. Let's say we're in this situation. We are stranded. We have no cell phones.
And criminals are chasing
on.
us.
Yeah.
And criminals are
Did
chasing
you
us.
wait,
Criminals
Mike?
are chasing us, right? And we're walking by a random frat party. You're again a teenager, like a freshman in high school. You're gonna go, I'm gonna ditch my friends here to go party, not to go, hey, I'm going to this party to find help for us, because he does not say that. He doesn't go, hey, I'm gonna go to the party to get some help. Maybe they have a phone.
Apparently, they don't
that we
want
can
friends
use.
that go to parties.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Not when I'm stranded in the middle of the ghetto getting shot at, Chris.
Nobody
Yeah,
ever
I really
shot
don't
at
want to
you.
go to a party.
Where's the last place those thugs are going to try to go? Into a frat party.
That's not true.
Boom.
That's not true.
They went everywhere.
Well,
they
I
followed
know-
them
I
everywhere.
know they
No.
did, but if I was thinking,
That's
I'd be like,
because
they
it's a
ain't going
movie.
there. Yeah, exactly. And besides, now there's the setup to meet the handsome guy who
Yeah.
comes at the end and saves the day with the roller
It's
skate.
perfect.
Who's that? John Cusack? Who's not John
Who,
Cusack?
yeah, who is that?
John Cusack's
Perfect.
body double,
Yeah.
bro. Straight up. I
Yeah,
was like,
totally.
oh my God.
I had to look at the credits. Like, wait a minute, that's not John.
He didn't
Cusack.
make it
Hold
last
on.
like Cusack, that's for sure.
No, he did not.
I don't know where that guy went.
He disappeared.
He comes
somewhere.
back.
He's somewhere in a wax museum dressed up as John Cusack.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I do this for 8 hours a day, and they pay me $25.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and we come back. We're going to talk more about babysitting.
Chris, I'm begging you, it's really scary here. I've just seen 3 people shoot up, a bald Chinese lady with no pants on, and there's this old guy outside who wants his bedroom slippers.
Get out of my house!
You just moved! Chris, please hurry up and get here.
Brenda, I've got my mom's car. I can't drive it into the city.
Oh my God, there's a man with a gun. Get me the hell out of here.
Brenda, look, just hang up.
Hey, guys, we're back, and we're talking about the adventures of babysitting. I just do that 3 times.
I know. That's great.
We are going to talk more about this film. I want to talk about one thing that we kind of got into a little bit. I was confused with this movie. Again, this is my first time seeing it. I thought they were in New York the whole goddamn time, but apparently they're in
it's
Chicago.
It's Chicago.
Yep.
They're in a suburb of Illinois.
Yeah.
That's where the film starts and ends. And a lot of Chris Columbus's films are
A lot of,
stationed.
some of the best 80s comedies are in Chicago.
Yeah, they are. There was a time where everybody was all about Chicago as being that big city.
Yep.
I think I guess they were trying to get away from New York. Maybe, I don't know. Because I feel like the 70s were all about New York.
Well,
Well,
maybe that's the case.
It
Yeah.
felt like New York. How like I figured it was like New York in the 80s,
Well-
where it's like real shitty, run down, and
Everybody
like,
here loves
till Giuliani got in there and cleaned it all
Yeah,
up.
right.
Yeah, but
I-
there wouldn't be them like that level of like blues music happening throughout the town if it was New York.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
Nobody leaves
The
without
thing that
thinking of the
confused me
blues.
was the little girl when they're driving into the
Yeah.
town. She looks up and she's like, "Oh, look, the city. That's where all the great superheroes are from. Thor, Spider-Man, Daredevil."
Well, no,
but all of those.
You're flipping scenes in your head right now
No.
How am I?
because when she says that it's a different scene when she's pointing, she goes, "Look, that's where Thor lives," and she points at the Sears Tower.
Right, but why would he be from there? All the Marvel characters
Are from New York.
New York.
No, I thought she said that in an earlier scene.
No.
It is. It's when they're on the freeway, and
Yeah, and
right
they're
before they
driving into the
pop
city.
the tire,
Yep.
she points out to the city, and she says, "That's where
Yep.
Thor's from. That's where all the great superheroes are from.
Yeah,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Daredevil. But all the characters that she mentions are so quintessentially New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Like it seems, maybe except for
'Cause I-
Thor. Maybe except
I
for Thor.
thought the same thing because I was really confused about it too. But I gotta go back and rewatch it because I thought she makes the comment about all the superheroes live in the city earlier when they're talking about going to the city or some shit like that.
No, she
and
says
then
it-
when she points at the cityscape, she points specifically at the Sears Tower and says that's where Thor lives, which I thought was weird too because
he doesn't.
yeah, like
he doesn't. Yeah,
he's never lived there.
I like
right?
that it's in Chicago. I think that
I do too.
makes it just a little different than the classic New York that we've all seen in
No, I agree.
a million movies and postcards. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I know Chicago had its run, but I forgot that it took place in
Well,
Chicago.
it's interesting. I read a weird article one time. They were like, New Yorkers don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and then they had a bunch of pictures of cities. They said, name the city that's from Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, L.A., and then after you looked at all of them, none of them were what you said. It was like Cleveland. It was all these other fucking cities. Basically, the
Toronto.
understanding was all cities look fucking alike.
Yeah, well, Toronto
and
is
none
New
of
York.
them are New York. Yeah,
That's where
Toronto's-
this was filmed.
it was.
In
It was.
Toronto?
It was. Yeah.
Toronto, yeah.
Yeah.
Toronto is every city. It's every city. They
It is.
film
Yeah.
every city movie in Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Good tax breaks there for filmmakers.
Apparently.
Good, yeah, no, good tax breaks. Another thing I kind of wanted to get into a little bit was, and maybe it's just the time of this film, being that it was in 1987, but damn, did they play up the black stereotypes on this one?
A lot. I would say if I could sum up this film, it was like 4 white kids go to the city and learn about black people. I don't know what, like, or learn about black stereotypes.
Well, I guess
like
if
really
this
bad
was-
black stereotypes.
This
'cause-
was Chicago. Chicago's kind of known for that.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, Chicago is.
I mean, it is to some extent, but any more so than New York.
yeah.
I would think
I would say
maybe
so
a little
because, I
more
mean,
in the
Chicago's-
stereotype. yeah.
Chicago's the birthplace of blues.
Is
Like,
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
It's
like Louisiana or some shit like that.
birthplace of like electric rock blues, like
Okay.
the modern blues in
All right.
the 50s.
Okay. But I
mean,
basically
that's-
started in Chicago and it's
that's-
been in Chicago.
That's really
always.
focusing on just on, like, I would say one scene, though.
Yeah.
the
they-
carjacker, the
they-
blues.
They had the straight up, what is it? The bachelor, is it bachelor party? Not bachelor party.
Frat party?
No, Animal House scene where they
Oh.
like all go to the black club.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, what are we doing here? Oh my god, we have everything in common.
But still a great
it's
scene.
This
It
weird
was
thing.
a fantastic
Great
No,
scene.
I'm not saying that they weren't trying.
No, I think for its time, I think for its time, it was appropriate,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it's even inappropriate now.
And
No,
in
I
fact,
don't.
I think Joe Gipp, the carjacker, is like one of my favorite characters.
he
in
has
the
a
Hands
heart of
down.
gold. He has a heart of gold
He's
the whole
awesome.
film.
Hands
Yeah.
down.
Has he been in anything else? This
He
guy?
looked recognizable
He
to me.
so did. He so did.
But
And
I
I'm
don't.
like-
I can't pinpoint it.
He just had a very natural way of acting, which was like, whoa, like this guy is, I feel like almost like outshining everybody else because it just feels the most natural.
Although I do want
Yeah.
to say one thing about
I'll
his
agree with
character
that.
that confused me was when he like drives into. He could have let the kids off. He could have just
Yeah,
been like,
why
yeah.
did he take them
yeah,
to
he's
the
like,
chop
hey,
shop?
I'm gonna take you to the chop shop
Like-
where mob bosses live that are clearly gonna have a problem with me bringing you there,
Yeah.
and then just say, it'll be okay. And it wasn't okay.
No, it wasn't.
It was the opposite. They were gonna kill those
He was in a
kids.
stolen car. What's he just supposed to stop?
Well, I
Yes!
mean, he makes a point to say,
Get out.
"What
2
am I
seconds.
gonna do? What am I gonna do? Put them outside where they're gonna get killed?" But then,
Yeah.
cut to 20 minutes later, they're outside walking around amongst the city
Right.
just fine. Like,
Would it been so bad if he just like, I'm gonna take a stop off in a nicer neighborhood for 10 minutes and then I'm gonna deliver this car 10 minutes late and just say, oh, it was a little hard. Like, what he could have done a lot of things other than bring them right into the hands of the
Sure.
people that were gonna be the most worried about their
Oddly,
presence.
yeah, but oddly enough, he is the least crazy character that they run into.
Absolutely.
He's like the little savior
Yeah,
most of the
He
time.
is.
the one hook, like the hooked arm.
I
Oh.
like that guy, man.
Pruitt.
He
Pruitt,
goes through.
right?
He goes through so many like character like
evolutions.
changes. Yeah,
he
he's
shows up
fantastic.
at the
He's-
hospital.
First shows up, he's a creepy guy. Then he's like the fucking heart of gold. Then he's the fucking crazy guy, like shooting guns and beating the shit out of his his wife's lover, and then he's like, "Hey, let me help you again," and then he's like fighting again. Like,
But I will
He's
say
a
that
fugitive.
now he's a fugitive. Yeah, it's just like all over the place. That character, I love that.
that scene.
That scene when the car pulls away. Sorry, when it pulls away,
Yeah.
it's just so funny. The crane up, and he's fighting the dude with his one arm in the middle of the street,
Yes.
and the car's driving
Yep.
away.
as lovable as you're saying that scene is, though, could you put a film in that in modern day times where he's like shooting recklessly and like almost
Probably.
killing a little girl?
Probably if it
If
was
it's
tongue in
comedy,
cheek. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I don't
I
know.
think the way they
man.
played
Yeah.
it was no, dude. I think the
The
way
whole
they
time
played
I
it,
was
they
watching, I
played
was
it
like, "Oh my
correctly.
god, he could have killed that little girl."
no, they played it 1,000% perfectly in this
Yep.
film.
really.
They could
1,000%.
do it today if they did the same with the same
Yep.
tone. Easy.
Because
Oh,
that character
man.
at no
Easy.
point, at no point is that character. It's grounded in reality, but nowhere is it realistic.
Yeah.
He's so far out there with the beard and the hooked arm and the
He's
heart
such
of gold.
a character.
Yeah, exactly. That you don't buy that they're in when they're with him that they're in any real danger, even when the danger is happening.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
you
I
don't,
agree with that.
man.
you don't really get that they're in real danger until they're
I don't
being
know. There was
chased.
there was a moment where I'm like, he's literally just firing shots off in this apartment, and like he didn't hit this guy. Like you're thinking like he shot this dude, and then he comes flying through.
That's
the
what I thought too.
window.
I thought it was gonna
Yeah.
get real dark. Like,
I'm glad it didn't, and maybe that's the beauty of Chris Columbus's writing.
no, he has
you know,
been.
is-
He's managed to
That's
do
probably
that.
that's probably the fun of that scene is because it doesn't go where you think it's gonna go.
Yeah,
and then it just
exactly.
becomes this more comical kind
playing
of
on
fist
your
fight. Yeah.
expectations.
Well,
or
he's
whatever.
really Chris Columbus is really good at characters, right? Because again, on this side of the room, he created a character that me and Mike obviously do not like. But they all have every character in this movie has a strong, distinct character. From the guy who's a tow truck driver
Mhm.
to her best friend who is stuck in a bus stop.
Ran away from home.
Oh, dude, she's brilliant.
Oh,
Even the
she's-
lady-
oh my god, the fucking! I'm sorry, that just reminded me that the when she's on the phone, she just looks over the dude with the gun. He just like the face he
Yes.
makes, just shaking, like smiling, holding a gun. Like what the fuck?
with the homeless guy yelling at her to
Like,
get out of her
out
house.
of my house!
So good.
Yeah, it's the
man.
whole setup.
You just moved.
Did you guys notice that there was one scene where there's a TV playing in the background? It's the Halloween theme that's
Yes.
playing. And Deborah Hill produced this,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
she also produced Halloween. So
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
Interesting.
little shout out. I would
In
say.
terms of Christopher Columbus, I do want to say he has a tendency. If you look at his entire career,
Define continents.
what's that? Continents. No, he has a thing where a lot of his best films are all about family. Like you take this film, go to Home Alone, you go to Mrs. Doubtfire, even Harry Potter to some
Gremlins,
extent.
Goonies.
Like the first two Harry Potters are all about. There's a lot of Harry lives in a family of Muggles and they don't understand him and he's outcast and they just kind of like throw him to the side. I feel like a lot of Christopher Columbus's films deal with kids that are kind of cast off a little bit and then have to find themselves.
He cares more about the character and their experience. In
But
films.
Exactly.
in the
Yeah.
context of a family, more so
he
than
does.
a lot
it,
of his
it-
other
it,
films.
It comes up in pretty much every single movie he's done. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a
the
central
family-
theme.
Yes.
Yeah, the family unit is very important to him.
I would agree with that. Besides the music, which Kyle brought up earlier, like if you look at the cinematography of this movie, it's not anything to go home and like brag about. It's
No,
pretty,
but
it's
it
pretty
is
cookie
quintessential.
cutter.
I saw a lot of the same cinematography that he used in Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I agree
That's
with
his
that.
style.
I think this
It's
is
his
his
style.
filmmaking style. Yeah,
Yeah.
Miss Doubtfire. It's not really nothing great about.
There's nothing
cinematography.
great about it, but there is a lot of weird. Oh, man, how to describe it? Long shots, I guess. Like one of the shots where they're walking on the.
It follows them, and it's very smooth, and it kind of moves. With
No,
the
I'm talking
character.
more along lines like a distance shot, like shots where distance is used. Like they're walking on the girder,
Oh yeah.
and then they knock the dust, and then it comes all the way down to
Yeah.
that guy's coffee, and he
Mhm.
drinks it. There's a
Mhm.
lot of this weird thing where like there is a situation going on far away
affecting
that happens that affects something, and then somebody turns around and they don't really notice it. Like in Mrs. Doubtfire, where he throws the fruit at the back of
Yeah.
what's his name's head.
Right.
There's
right.
a lot of weird. I don't know.
He uses the
scenes where he
space.
does- yeah, he
like,
uses a lot
quite
of
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Like,
To bring thrilling
oh, and I will say,
aspect to things, suspense.
if we're talking about like the cinematography, that shot of Sarah when she's on the edge of the building, that honestly like freaks me out to kind of look
Yeah.
at that because I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, that looks really steep. That looks
Yeah.
really.
I'll tell you what.
Did anyone
Fuck that.
watch
scene.
this film till the end of the credits?
I don't think I did.
Did anybody else did?
No.
There's a coda at the end of it where it's the criminal that was like had to go off and go find the thing, and he's crying at the end of the thing because he's stuck out there because he's so scared of heights.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Number one, that has
Funny.
nothing to do with being scared of heights. That just has the fear of falling off a giant building.
Possibly.
Like,
yes.
Yeah. The fact that
very
you're
real
stuck
thing.
on the
Yeah.
side of a building on a high rise.
So I will tell you, as a parent, here, as
I don't want you don't want your kids being stuck on the side of a building.
as the only parent here, when that scene happened with her on the side of the building, I literally had a pit in my stomach where it was just like I felt sick because I was like imagining like if my child was in that situation, I would be shitting bricks. Like I'd be
and she's
freaking
right behind
out.
you. You don't even see her. Like
Yeah.
the parents are in there just having
Yeah.
a ball.
And
Trying to find out the recipe.
Literally.
And you know what?
Literally at a ball. Yeah.
Yep, they were. If I was that criminal that you were just talking about, I forget what his name is.
I don't know. He was like
yeah.
some throwaway criminal.
He was
but
the angry black guy that punched everybody in the face.
There you go. More black stereotypes.
Why would you go out there? Why like?
Yeah, I don't know why
I
you
don't
would go
know.
out there.
I would
don't
not.
get it.
I don't care what's at stake. I'm not fucking.
I would just
climbing out
be
there.
I'd just
I'll
be sitting
pick up
there
the-
waiting. Like,
I'll pick
all
up
right,
the
when
play-
you're ready.
I'll pick up the Playboy on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I don't get it either. But seriously, I was like that whole scene made me sick. And I think he captured that scenario with the music and everything. It just captured it perfectly.
Yeah.
And she just kept going lower. I was like, I'm gonna kill you, little girl.
Yeah.
Like, stop
Jeez.
this
Well,
madness.
She's so brave.
She is.
She was
I
Thor, though.
really thought,
she had the power of Thor. She had that. She
yeah.
had the power of Meow Meow.
I thought she was a really
Meow.
good kid actor. I thought she did a great job in
So
this
do I.
movie.
She
So do I.
Yeah, she.
One of the things that I thought was not ridiculous and I was actually pretty happy with was the wardrobe. A lot of these 80 movies that we watch have, like, they go that hyper stylized 80s route.
Yeah.
Where this one I felt was, like, very grounded in reality to what I was like, oh, my sister wore dresses like that. Or my sister wore clothes like that. Like,
Oh man, dude, that
it wasn't anything too crazy.
I gotta say that outfit in the beginning that Elizabeth Shue's wearing, dancing around her bedroom or whatever, fucking looked good on her.
I swear my sister had that same outfit. I swear she did.
You're
That
right
same
though; they didn't
outfit.
go too extreme
Didn't,
with
no.
neon, and I think maybe that was a little past, maybe 87.
I mean, 87. I guess it's towards the end, but,
But you see,
even
she
the early
didn't ha-
90s were pretty loud
Yeah,
in terms of color.
And she didn't have, like, her hair was not super, like,
she looked
huge.
Wait, she did not look 17 to me. I'll say that.
I'll tell you that. That was what I was going to say. One of the problems I do have with the film was the believability. Like, at the very beginning of this film, I had no idea until she said she was 17 that I thought she was out of high school and in
Right?
between high school and college.
That's exactly what I thought.
That's what I thought too. That she was saying to this younger kid, like, "Hey," because as I understand it, isn't high school? I understand there's like, okay, I don't want to date a freshman or I don't want to date a sophomore or whatever. But like, isn't there like a distinct difference between I'm going to college and I'm beyond all this high school shit,
Yes.
and then dating within high school?
Yeah.
Yes.
She seemed a little too hardcore about it. She seemed too. And then, how old is Mike? This boy that she was trying to get.
He's college.
He
or
seemed like he
something.
was already in college and probably in a fraternity.
I think he graduated college from.
He
what
was
I
like in
got
a
from it.
trading places
I don't know,
fraternity.
man. Yeah, he,
like where he was
looked
like
way too fucking old.
Yeah,
for
no,
Yeah, he did.
I got it as he
Jesus.
graduated college and he's probably like 20. I would say 24, 25.
But even later on, the John Cusack lookalike, he's a junior in college and she's only 17. And like, I mean,
what does
that's-
she say she is? She's a sophomore or a fresh?
She said
Oh,
she's
she's
a
senior.
Senior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
She
senior.
says she's a senior in
it's
high
so
school.
crazy
Yeah.
that, like, you know, that the prettiest girl here is a senior in high school. That's one of his lines. I forgot. He says the name
No,
of
No,
It's
the
a shame.
prettiest girl at
It's a shame.
Chicago University
Yeah.
is in high school or
Gotcha.
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
which every girl in high school.
I don't
wants
know
to
what
hear.
university it
I do want
was.
to give it up to Bradley Whitfield
Hillway
for
or whatever.
being the swooning like boy toy of this film.
What?
John
Bradley
Cusack?
Whitfield, no, the guy that plays Mike, the guy that
Oh,
Elizabeth
Oh,
Shue's
yeah.
constantly going after. He is known for nowadays. He's like in The West Wing. He was in like
Yeah, dude, he wasn't attractive then though either.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I don't get either. He was not. Like,
are we talking about the same person?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we
talking
are.
about
We are.
the asshole boyfriend.
Okay,
We're talking,
Yeah.
about, we're talking about So Cool.
So cool.
So cool. Bradley Whitfield is known as either the guy in Adam Sandler movies who's a complete
He always plays
douchebag,
he always plays the douchebag, right?
or in The West Wing, where he's like the really cerebral kind of a dick bag, but also like with a heart of gold.
So either way,
Yeah.
Dick Bag by some extent is in his roles
Right.
that he has. So this is a perfect role for him.
You
No,
must
I
have a
understand
dick
that,
bag
but
look.
he's supposed to be
Because he looks like a dick bag.
he's supposed to be like
Super handsome.
yeah, super handsome
this movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
and
No,
he looks.
looked more like a bad boy to me. He didn't look like super.
Oh,
Yeah.
But he also looks like
no.
he's 6
Yeah.
feet
He had like a
tall.
leather jacket
Yeah, he had a leather
on,
jacket.
like-
He had a Camaro.
Yeah.
And
So
when I-
cool.
When I
He
used
was
to
the
watch,
bad boy.
When I used to
No.
watch The West Wing with Bradley Whitfield, he looks like he's 5'6".
No, dude.
Dude of the College was the pretty boy.
He looked like he
Yeah.
was a high school football player who never
I
grew
didn't
out
get,
of it.
I didn't really get that.
That's
I
what
did
I
not-
got.
I did not get that.
Nah,
That's what I got.
as soon as I saw the Camaro, it's like, oh, it's trying to be the bad boy.
Yeah, he's the high school football player whose parents
Which is
have
funny.
the money to
I
get
own
him a Camaro.
I own a Camaro just like that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
wow.
my first car.
Who
Did
got
you,
him a
did you also
Camaro.
have a vanity plate that said "so cool"?
I did not.
Kind of cool.
It said
or
so broke.
not really cool.
You know what?
Not all that cool.
You know what
it's,
Mike's
it's okay.
You know what Mike said when he was in high school?
What?
So old.
That's what I said. I said that.
That's what his license plate said.
Done with this.
Retirement.
I feel like it was more like I like Ike.
I will say we were talking about Jared
Ike.
Leto not aging. I would also say Elizabeth Shue is a non-ager.
I disagree.
She's a vampire.
I disagree.
No, she looks
Are you-
good still.
Oh my god, though. No, I don't think she doesn't look good, but she definitely aged.
I don't think she looks that aged.
Everybody ages.
Um,
Some people better
Jared
than
Leto,
others.
Jared Leto is not. One thing I did want to bring up that I thought was one of the best story arcs in this movie that was like kind of under the radar was how she looked like the Playboy bunny.
That was so fucking
dude,
good.
so great. When it came up in the movies, it was like, oh yes, this running joke is hilarious.
See,
Everybody sees
I
it.
don't
Like
know.
they like
Everybody
double take
sees
her.
it.
It's pretty funny.
Everybody. Why would a Playboy bunny come to a
I
frat
was just
party?
confused
Yeah.
why that was a joke. Was it just
It was
random?
just
random?
to throw it in.
Okay.
Just to throw it.
I was trying to figure out
It just creates another
Another
thing
layer.
that she has to deal with throughout that night.
Gotcha.
Oh, when she freaks out in the car after the car gets jacked,
Yeah.
dude, brilliant.
She's
Oh,
freaking
she's
out.
losing-
She's freaking
she's
out.
losing
The kids in the back are all like calm,
Yeah.
and she's like losing her because as an adult, that's what you'd be doing. The kids obviously
Yeah.
don't understand the situation you're in.
I think they do. They're just
think
not
they-
concerned.
Yeah.
Here comes Devereaux.
Oh, excuse me. I couldn't help but notice that you two groups of people are about to start killing each other, and I was wondering if you could please just wait on that until we could get off the train.
Sit down, bitch.
Bitch, sit down.
Are you gonna let him get away with that?
Wait a minute.
I was kidding.
That was really rude. Take it back. Apologize.
Let's stay out of this.
He called you a bitch.
I want to talk about another, since we're on characters right now, let's talk also about the, what is known as the B story, the B line of this film.
What, Brenda?
Brenda, yeah.
Brenda's
There's a
fantastic.
completely, there's a completely side story to this whole thing where it's Brenda in this,
bus station.
I guess, a bus station
That's
where
what it
dudes
is.
are allowed to brandish guns and get away with it.
It's the '80s, man.
Dude, there's
Yeah,
a lot of
right?
weird shit going on in there.
I don't think he was legally brandishing the gun.
I don't think he was legally
fairly
doing it,
certain that was
but can I ask
that
a
was a
question?
criminal with a gun.
Who does that?
Have you
Who's
ever-
just like, hey,
Hold
hey.
But he only
Look
did
at
it.
my
He
gun.
only did it when she looked at him.
Yeah.
He's like,
Have you ever
Yeah.
been to an
it's
inner
fucking
city?
weird.
Have you ever been to an inner city bus station?
Yeah.
They all look like that bus station.
No,
they were
I
in.
agree. I've been to like, I guess Penn Station or what is it?
I've been
Battery Station in New York. Battery
horrible.
I'm
Battery
talking about-
Park. Yeah.
I'm talking about like I've been to the St. Louis Greyhound bus station, and that's no place you want to go even in the daylight.
No, it's the same thing in New York. Like you don't want to be at there's no place where you want to be at a bus station.
There's no moment in time
That's
where
not
you
true.
look forward
The-
to being at a bus station.
The Palm Springs bus station is fantastic.
Is it really?
I have never been there.
Okay.
Sure, there's
I love
nobody
that.
there.
Well, I love that that whole bus station scene too because there were certain scenes that they like reshot just to make that story a longer. Like the guy like trying to buy the hot dog and stuff. That wasn't in the script. That was like That was like
oh my
something
god,
they
that's
added
some of
after
the best
fact.
dialogue in the whole movie.
That's some of the best
dialogue in the whole movie.
Yeah, if you don't have a
slip me the cash or you don't get the wiener.
Yeah.
Slip me the cash, I'll slip you the wiener.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I didn't
that's
know.
you don't have money, then I don't have a wiener for you.
so good.
Fucking good.
Dude, they were throwing the C word out in this movie like nobody's business. Right and left, the C word was flying.
Oh, and the H word.
What's
was
C
the
word?
C
What's
word?
C word?
check.
Oh,
I'll write you a check. I'll get you
Oh,
a
you're
check.
right. Was that new technology?
Dude,
Wow, I did not
I don't
think
have
you were
my
going there.
checkbook.
Dude, the check. Oh my
Yeah.
God, they said she said check 6,000 times.
Yeah,
True.
that's how you pay for stuff in the 80s with
That-
checks.
Yeah, and
With
also
checks that will be cashed at a later date, so
probably
there
how
doesn't need to be real money in there.
Bank of America was advertising
Yeah.
at that time.
Well, the good old days. You
Instead of
write a
just
check,
setting
you're
up-
like, I got 3 days
Instead of
to
just
get
setting
money
a
in the
Pepsi
account.
can down, they're like, just say check a lot so people go to the bank.
Ah, we got Squarespace now. What is it? What is the thing that you
Yeah,
put
but that's
in?
Square.
instantaneous. That's not like a check. Like you
No,
write
it's
a check,
not.
you could post it.
I do remember that. I remember my parents going to like the grocery store and being like writing a check for groceries.
Oh,
Yeah.
they were those.
I
they
hear
were
pray
those
tell
people,
you can
huh?
still do that.
I
hear pray
believe
tell
you
you
can.
can.
That's what
Let's
I'm
go
talking
back. What's the H word that you thought they were throwing around?
about. They kept calling Thor a homo.
That's true.
That's
That was
that's a
funny.
word you can't use any. That's
I thought that was
yeah.
funny. It
Homo's
worked.
offensive now?
I don't think homo is so
to ins-
homo is
to-
so tug in cheek.
And actually, there's actually a backstory to this. I read about this.
You researched the word homo?
Or
No,
Thor?
no. That whole scene. Okay, so when Vincent D'Onofrio comes out as Thor,
Yes.
originally it was supposed to be a girl, like a girl mechanic that had a questionable gender identity, and the whole joke was supposed to be, I don't get it. Like, is he a guy or a girl? I don't understand what's going on. Blah blah blah
What?
blah.
Where'd
Yes.
you read this at?
It's on
IMDb. Yeah. Like there was an earlier script where they weren't going to do the whole Thor thing. They weren't going to do any of this shit. They were going to do like just straight and not like do any fanfare, I guess. I don't know what you call it nowadays because Thor's so big now, but it wasn't.
I think it was kind of fanfare.
No, the thing I originally read was it was supposed little girl's supposed to be obsessed with He-Man and She-Ra.
Right, I understand that, but what I'm saying with that scene,
That was in the original script was He-Man and She-Ra, I thought.
right? But even if she was, what I'm saying is that scene where she meets Vincent D'Onofrio and mistakes him for Thor was supposed to be her mistaking him a girl for a guy, and then the two Daryl and Brad, I think, were supposed to be sitting there looking at each other the whole time, like, well, I don't understand, blah blah blah. Like, is it a girl or a guy? And I guess this was supposed to lead into the whole.
That seems really deep for this kind of a film.
I feel like
well, that's why they got rid of it, Kyle. They obviously got rid of this and said this is a bad idea.
And was it true that it was suggested that he use He-Man and She-Ra, but he's like, I don't know who those people are, so
it was originally in the script that it was He-Man She-Ra, but he had no idea either of those characters were. So he was like, well, let's just make it Thor because I know who Thor is. And
Yeah.
Which is funny because at the exact same time they're filming Masters of the Universe was being filmed at the exact same time, and She-Ra was
That's weird. Yeah, he
still
didn't- he had
syndicating
no
on
idea.
TV at the exact same time, and the director had no idea who these characters were.
That's
well.
weird.
He didn't have time for TV.
he's too busy making.
Let's talk about
movies.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Let's talk about him.
Let's.
What a strapping
He's
lad.
surprisingly skinny.
He's like fucking ripped, and what's crazy is the same year as when Full Metal Jacket came out, which he filmed right before this, and he's like 80
Overweight.
pounds, 80 pounds heavier, shaved head. Like,
Have you ever followed his career though?
Does he do
he's
crazy
very,
shit
he's
like
very character.
He
gets
is
into
method like
method
a
actor,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like that guy will go into like I heard that in Men in Black, like his whole scene, that whole thing that he was doing was that he was literally trying to envision himself in an insect body and what it would be like to be stuck in an insect body, stuck in flesh.
Okay.
Like, how does an insect move? And he would study insects to figure out how they moved and what moves they couldn't do. And that if he was a cockroach in a human body, like what moves he couldn't,
Shit.
like what he couldn't do, like grab certain things or
He was
whatever.
perfect for the
He was
cell.
nuts. Yeah, he's a nut. He's kind of a nutcase, but in a good way, I think. I love Vincent D'Onofrio.
I do too.
If you ever watch him in,
I had no idea this was
Law
him
and
until I
Order.
looked it up. Like
Law and Order,
Blonde.
he's crazy. He's nuts.
long blonde locks. Yeah.
He's great. He looks like Thor. Like,
He
you
does.
see it immediately.
He
See
does.
it. Like you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, see, should have casted
The way he-
casted him
Yeah.
instead of Chris Hemsworth.
Whatever. He's
Get out of here, Chris
it doesn't
Hemsworth.
matter. The unique thing about it is that he actually is a Marvel character and he's
Yeah,
Kingpin.
he ended up playing Kingpin. So
See what I mean?
Yeah, but he originally played Thor.
yeah, hero
Okay.
first.
Kind
He
of,
can say that he did. He played two Marvel characters.
kind of like an
No,
evil
He
Thor.
played Dawson.
who was playing Thor.
Look at Chris.
Well,
I mean,
whatever.
if you
He
want to
played
get,
Dawson.
I mean,
guys.
read
Is this what's that word you said? What's that word you said earlier
that?
tonight?
Piccadilly?
Piccadilly.
Piccadilly? No, definitely not.
It was
Picadorus?
is when somebody gets excited about something and you just like hit them with all the facts and like ruin it.
Oh, pedantic.
Pedantic. That's
Yeah.
what
He's
it was.
real
That's a fancy
pedantic.
word.
Just ruin everybody's time with your
It
facts.
sounds like someone's last name. My name's Harry Pedantic.
Oh, you sound boring, Harry.
Sounds like a medication.
Yeah. I need some pedantic. My ass is really
Pedantic.
chapping.
My ass is chapped. I need
Stop
pedantic.
taking pedantic if your asshole falls out.
What the hell is happening?
Sorry.
Let's rate this bad boy, shall we?
Do it. What are we?
Wait,
rating
hold
it?
on. Is there any favorite lines? I mean, there's so many in this movie.
The
Come
wiener
on.
line.
The wiener line, definitely.
Anything with wieners,
yeah.
farts,
It was
butts.
Pretty much
good.
anything that she's in, I freaking love. The best friend. Get
Oh.
out of my house. So like,
I
so
thought
funny.
I thought one of the ones that really made me laugh just because of the way it was delivered was when they were about to walk out onto the beam, you know, to get away from the mob guys. And she's like, "We gotta walk across here, get to this window." And the friend's like, "You gotta be shitting me. Watch your language. Watch my language. You gotta be shitting me." It's just really fucking funny how it was delivered.
Yeah.
What are we rating this?
Is it weird that I rate it meow meows?
I was gonna suggest meow meows.
Meow meows.
Yeah, meows.
I
Meow
thought for
meows.
sure you were gonna go with so cools.
No.
We already
Meow
did a
meows.
license plate for.
It's true.
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
DM, we wasted it on Night of the
DMK.
Comet.
DMKs.
Yeah. Meow meows.
That's,
Meow- meow
I'm so
meows.
glad
Meow
you
meows.
thought that is
Yeah.
exactly when I was watching.
Exactly what I was
What
thinking.
is that? I have no
That's-
idea.
that's
what that
Thor's
is.
Thor's
hammer.
hammer. It's I think it's pronounced something else, but
Yeah, everyone knows a meow
I
meow.
just meow meow.
Chris, how many meow meows are you gonna give Avengers Babysitting?
I'm gonna give this movie 4 meow meows.
Yeah.
I've always liked this movie. Like I said, I saw it when I was young. My mom showed it to me. I'm a big fan of Chris Columbus, honestly, and everything that he's created. You know, at least in the 80s and 90s, I think he just really. I mean, like I said, there's some magic to his films. When I watch his film, I feel like I'm on an adventure. I'm always all about the kid adventure stories. Elizabeth Shue is beautiful. I do not mind watching her for
Agreed.
an hour and a half. She's a gorgeous woman. I like that the characters like took me on a journey also within them, like their own character. For example, I didn't like Brad at first. I thought he was annoying as fuck. And then like towards the end of it, I was like, oh, I feel like he's grown up. You know what I mean? I could say that with almost everybody in the film. I like the little Vincent D'Onofrio cameo. That was a surprise. And I would show my kids this. Like, if I have kids someday, I'd be like, watch this movie. It's really fun. And I think that it would be sort of timeless.
Yeah.
So-
I agree with you on that. But next up is Kyle.
Yeah, I'm also going to give this 4 meow meows. Yeah, I pretty much have to echo everything Chris said about it. It's a really fun film. I've loved this movie from the first time I've seen it, and you know, fast forward 20 years later, been watching it consistently. So it's a great movie. It's really I agree with Chris. The kid adventure films, I love that. I love that feeling and stuff, and it's just a good movie. So 4 meow meows.
I'll go next. I will give this 4 meow meows. The reason I'm going to give it 4 meow meows is because I think this is the first time I've seen this movie, 2016, and I'm a little upset because this is, I believe, is a quintessential 80s movie. I feel like this is, if you're an 80s film fan, this is one of the ones you need to see. It is an adventure family film, which is a lot of fun, in the same vein as The Goonies, as you know, in the same vein as Gremlins, like all Chris Columbus's movie. I hate calling him Christopher Columbus because it sounds like I'm talking about the
like he's
Explorer.
on
The Nina.
He's exploring the world of family films.
yeah.
But
Was that one?
1492.
that's you know what? That's the thing though too, is like I feel like he was making the family films for kids and adults before anybody else was.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think he hit it on all levels.
Like invented it.
Yeah. So 4 for me. Up next, Mike.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this average pretty easy. I'm gonna also give it 4 meow meows. For a lot of the reasons that Chris said, and what you said, Cody, I think he did kind of, in a weird way, invent this family-oriented family film. Home Alone is not my favorite film, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of it, but I absolutely love Mrs. Doubtfire, and I love this film, and I also love the Harry Potter films. I think he really ushered that book into mainstream, and he did it really, really well.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing Harry Potter for the first time and thinking that it was a harken back to what we were talking about kids' films having some sort of fear or not fear. I don't want to say that, but
real life danger.
Yeah, real life danger. And I feel like all of his films
yeah.
actually have that, other than Home Alone.
Yeah.
I feel like there was not really a lot of danger, but this film definitely has it.
Yeah.
There are guns, there is sex, there is all kinds of things that could make this a great cult film.
Yep.
So yeah, 4 meow meows.
You know, there's something I just remembered. There's something that we didn't touch on, and I just thought of it right now. But it's an interesting little fact. This was, I think, was it number 4 or 5 PG-13 Disney film. This was only the 4th or 5th PG-13 Disney film ever.
Like
released.
meaning in terms of the highest, like
No, in terms of
we haven't hit R.
When Disney decided to start green lighting PG-13 films
versus
this was
G
the
films.
4th or 5th one.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty.
And I'm surprised that some of the things that got through the MPAA, not MPAA, is it what is it?
MPAA.
Is it MPAA?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that video game?
Motion Pictures Association.
Okay, yeah. Him going in with a gun and trying to shoot the person that's fucking his wife.
Yeah.
Like, that is something that I don't think gets in a PG-13 film nowadays.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It does.
You
They
think?
Get away- they get
Are you
away.
kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
I think
With a gun? And
Yeah.
shots fired?
Yeah.
Shots fired with bullets flying.
Yeah.
Totally.
Have you not? You need to watch some more
The
modern
Visit-
PG-13 films.
The horror movie The Visit was PG-13, and there's some pretty
Okay.
crazy
All right.
shit in that movie.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind then.
PG-13's the new R.
All right, guys. So that's our show for this week. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram at cultfilm_review. You can follow us on Twitter at cultfilm_review. You can follow Mike
At Friendly Neighborhood. No, actually, at Mike Salustio on Twitter, if you want to follow me. But if you want to read about things that I write about, friendlyneighborhoodfilmmaking.com.
You can follow Chris at
Instagram, cultfilm_Chris.
You can follow Kyle at
Twitter, cultfilm_Kyle.
And you can follow me at cultfilm_Cody on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, guys, please, if you could, I know it sucks to hear this every podcast you listen to, but please rate us a 5-star review and leave a review. And that really, really helps us out, and we'd appreciate it.
Even
Also,
just 2 sentences.
yeah, like these guys.
Or 1 word.
Yeah,
Great.
cool. Whatever.
Great. Nice job.
Yeah, nice job. That's
Great
2
job.
words.
Or like douches.
Yeah, whatever. But
Douches,
five,
but
but
5
stars.
Yeah.
5-star douche.
5-star douches.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
They
Whatever.
they turn the
Okay.
douche level up 5 stars.
All right.
If you could do that for us,
They put the oosh in douche.
we'd really
Yeah, we
appreciate.
definitely do. I like to think that. That's how I always say to people.
We'd really appreciate that. Also, just if you're gonna join a cult, make sure they watch good movies. We'll see you next week.